and it makes that cute little terrifying noise, and it's fine. All right, so let's get it started, team. Hello, 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 hello. Good afternoon. Happy hour time, depending on where you are in the country. And if you're in the world, we're so excited you're all here. My name is Monica Prince. I am the managing editor of the Santa Fe Writers Project Quarterly, which is where all of these fabulous people were published last month. They did a fabulous job. We had a total of 38 contributors for our most recent issue, which was focused entirely on QTPOC and LGBTQ++ identifying writers. We're so excited to have this reading during Pride Month, and I'm so pumped to have you all here. This is my third year serving as a managing editor of the Santa Fe Writers Project. I'm so thrilled to welcome you to the second installment of the quarterly reading series. This reading features contributors from our queer issue back in May, which was focused on the theme of making, unmaking, and remaking. So I'm going to go through a little bit of housekeeping for you all. So we're running this through a normal Zoom meeting, which means that we might get Zoom bombed. I'm hoping we don't. I have a lot of faith that it'll be fine. You don't worry about it. It's my responsibility. So you don't worry about it. I'm not worried about it. You don't worry about it. I'll be totally fine. But in the case that this happens, never fear. I got you. I'll hold on to it. I will take care of it. Just take a breath and hold for a minute while I handle all the nonsense that will reduce the nonsense, basically. If some of the settings on your screen aren't available, that's probably because something happened and I'm trying to shut stuff down. So don't worry about it. I got you. So we ask that you please keep yourselves muted throughout the entire reading. Unless, of course, you're reading, because we want to make sure that background noise doesn't interfere in the epicness, like my partner coming in and out of a heavy hotel room door. But feel free to keep on your cameras, yay, and say what's up to applaud and cheer. There are also reaction features at the bottom hand of your screen, which have claps and little noise maker kazoos, I don't know what they are, and stuff like that, little hearts. It's all good stuff, and you can show all your support there. You're also welcome to throw it into the chat and just tell people that they're dope and that we're so grateful for them to be here. At the end of the reading, we'll do a grand unmuting, which means you'll all unmute yourselves and then we'll clap and cheer and it'll be super fabulous, and I'm very excited. So each of our readers will read for about 3 minutes. And it will be fabulous. I'm excited. There are about 20 people who are going to be reading today. I'm so excited. It's going to be great. So before we get involved, we have to give some thank yous, obviously. Special thanks first and foremost to our founder and editor-in-chief, Andrew Gifford, who's somewhere in this Zoom room somewhere. He's in New York right now, helping launch one of our most recent authors' books. And his royalties from his memoir, We All Scream, actually go into paying our writers here. So we're really grateful that Andrew has donated his royalties from his memoir to help make sure that we can start paying our writers. Additionally, we have to say thank you to the incredible social media and marketing team led by the fabulously Lindsay Stencio. You got to practice. Lindsay Stencio and Wendy Fox for handling all the promotion for the issue. So if you saw those cute little cards with quotes from your pieces on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, those came from Lindsay. We're so grateful for the work that they did for us. If you've seen them all over the place, keep retweeting them because we love them. So keep going. And also make sure, if you haven't, everybody in that fabulous audience, if you haven't visited the SFWP website to read the full issue, I'll throw the link into the chat a little bit later. Feel free to do so. Also, that's a chance for you to tip our readers or even patronize our catalog for all the other books that we publish. I'll put all of this in the chat and I'll keep reminding you to do that. So if you have any technical issues, just message me directly through the chat and I'll try to help you out. I want to give a blatant, this is mostly so the authors don't have to do it, a blatant content warning. Some of the pieces that are being read today may contain strong language, sexual contact, or activating material, content, or activating material. So make sure you take care of yourselves as needed. If for some reason you don't think you can handle what's being said, that's perfectly okay. Feel free to take a break from the Zoom room, go refill your drink and come back. So we're going to get started with a brief intro because there's someone missing from this room if you haven't noticed, I did not edit this issue alone. I edited this issue with the fabulous and stunning Nicole Schmidt, who is not currently here because she's working a double. So she graciously gave us videos to wish you all happy Pride and introduce this reading. So I'm going to show that to you all. I hope you find it hilarious. I think it's funny and it should be great. I'm excited. So let's get it started. So hold for 1 second so I can share it with you all. And let's go.
Well, hello there. I didn't notice you at first. All right. Thank you, Winston. Yes, I'm glad you asked. This is a thrifted dark blue fake fur coat, and I am wearing sunglasses inside. That is my desk lamp blinding me at the moment. All of it was to give myself just a little bit of serotonin today, and I hope it did for you too. I'm gonna lose it now because it's 85 degrees in central Pennsylvania and I'm gonna have heat stroke inside of my home. For the drama. Now, hello and thank you and welcome to every single person watching this who has contributed or helped or worked on this issue, or you're just here to enjoy some art. And especially the biggest hello and welcome to the girls, gays, and theys, because we absolutely would not have this issue without every single one of you. So, my name is Nicole Schmidt. I am the developmental manuscript editor for SFWP, the fiction editor for this issue, fiction and prose, excuse me. So if any of you wrote prose, it was my frantic 2 a.m. emails that you were getting while I couldn't sleep, but don't worry, I still put in care and dedication to each piece. I'm getting off topic. Here's the thing. I am at work today, other work, which sucks because capitalism is the enemy of the state and the state is the enemy of the people, and CRT is necessary, and if you don't agree, I don't know what to tell you. All that is just to say that I am currently serving the 78,000th customer of the day that doesn't know the difference between the latte they get at Starbucks and the latte they want from us, but it pays my bills, along with SFWP. So, to swing right back out of that weird hole I just dug us into, the whole point of this video is to say, one, that I'm sorry I cannot be at this reading in person with Monica. I completely trust that she is killing it already and that every single one of your performances so far and in the future is just absolute magic. The whole point of this video for me, other than to just show face and say hello, is truly to say thank you. Not just for this issue, but for what you did with your writing, regardless of genre and form, and what you're going to continue to do with your writing. The entire point of this specific journal was to just give space. Monica and I decided over a year ago that we were going to help promote voices of marginalized identities. Here's the thing. You can put out the coffee and set up chairs and have the best donuts in the world, but it doesn't mean that anybody is going to come into the room. It takes a whole lot more effort and strength and voice and dedication on your side of things to not only walk into the room, but then to command respect and attention once you do. So truly, from the bottom of all of our SFWP hearts and mine, thank you so much. I am going to be watching as much of this reading as humanly possible on my phone while I just have to go to the bathroom for the 18th time in 10 minutes at work. Anything I don't see, I will catch from the recording later on, and please do me one favor. Keep sharing this for yourself. Send it to your best friend to your roommate to your favorite cousin that you always go on walks with at Thanksgiving. Not just for promotion and views, but because you deserve to have your voices in these specific stories and all the other ones that you've curated heard. It is important, it is necessary, and it is going to continue being such. Anyone who doesn't agree with that is for the birds and not for us. So again, I'm so sorry I can't be there with you today, but I can't wait to enjoy your art now and in the future. Thank you.
Wait for it. There's one more.
Oh my god. Oh my god, stairs. So many stairs. Oh my god. Stairs. Oh, cat, hi. Oh, cat, move. I forgot to say happy Pride in my first video. I, the gay editor for the gay issue for this journal, forgot to say happy Pride in Pride Month. We got super up close and personal there, didn't we? The whole point of this is, whoops, I have the attention span and the short-term memory of a goldfish that you got at that shitty town fair in the shitty town that you didn't even want to live in the first place. Once again, off topic. Here's the whole point of this. Don't like thinking about how you could just hear me slurp being this close to the camera, but it's 7 p.m. Don't judge me while I'm recording this video. Happy Pride. Stay hydrated. Stop texting your ex. Free Britney. I love all you guys. Congratulations again. I have a big Sadie in the oven. I gotta go. Bye.
And there we go. All right, from our fabulous other editor, Nicole Schmidt. All right, team, I hope that was helpful and fun or weird. It doesn't matter. She says, thank you. She wishes she was here. She'll probably pop in for 8 seconds and then disappear. And we're all grateful for you. And that's the whole intro is I'm so grateful for you choosing to be a part of this issue and participating in the epicness that was creating it. We're so grateful for you all. And I am pumped to get this reading started. So first and foremost, we have the stunning and fabulous Akuba Dukes. Clap, 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 clap. Let's get it. Begin. Don't go yet though. Hold on, I have a whole intro for you. So, Akuba, here's your thing. Akuba Dukes. They are a 27-year-old Black non-binary person. They graduated from Longwood University with a BA in English and West Virginia Wesleyan College with an MFA in creative writing. They have published in Pank, Grub Street, No Tokens, Fog Lifter Journal, Prism International, Cosmonauts, Avenue, Strange Horizons, SFWP Quarterly, and others. They focus, write, and play around with gender, race, sexuality, off-pulse spirit stuff, and the body to explore their identity. Please give a warm, fabulous, loud welcome to the stunning and fabulous Akuba Dukes.
Aw, thanks guys. Hi, I'm Akuba. Context for this poem is that I'm just gonna do it right quick. It's just me being Black, non-binary, and kind of thinking about my relations with Black cis men and sort of reimagining and processing the trauma they're in, while also envisioning them in a different light that white supremacy and non-Black people cannot see them, I think, without the intimacy. So that's where this poem is from, just a light poem, just after hanging out with my stepfather and my brother. Okay. Praise be the boys who are men, the men who are boys who soften in the flicker of streetlight. Praise be the men who laugh through the bitter. Praise be the boy who stomp and grumble. Praise be the bitter Black men who are just beat into beasts. Praise be the Black men in their wetted eyes, tears swollen and unkempt. Praise be the nights I see them gleam. Praise be the night I see the sleepy slope of shoulders. Praise be the smoke billowing around. Praise be the rose bush that makes him smile. Odd that things grow. Praise be the need to prune and tend to the leaning tree. Praise be his tense, trembling soul. Praise be the heavy light that sits upon his chest. Praise be the frantic red hue. Praise be his open wound. Praise be his loud bolster that layers his sad, sad knot. Praise be the younger brother, his broad and soft holy. Praise be the boy he still is. Praise be the crinkling smile. Praise be his dark trickster eyes, him like coyote joking and baying through the silence. Praise be his prancing coyote heart, pulsing proud and big. Praise be his lean and lilt. Praise be his front and flex. Praise be the rumbling laugh. Praise be the boy I'll never be. Praise be the boy nestled in me, they cradle unknowingly. Praise be the boy in my belly, having sprouted roots and stretched across my bonework. Praise be the boy nurtured by beer bitter lapping and cigar high. Praise be the trill of the ensnared girl mumbling through boyhood right. Praise be the girl that is and was. Praise be the girl who a boy and a boy who a girl. Praise be the folks that'll never let them be. Praise be the two beings one. Praise be the conjoined lowling. Praise be the boy girl thing hum. Even if no one knows the language for its cadence, even if I never figure out the cadence to its language, praise be them and this conjoined and souled body. Thank you.
Yay! Thank you, Akuba. That was stunning. That was stunning. We're so grateful for you. That was gorgeous. Yes. Ah, I love that that's how we started. Ah, perfect. Thank you. That was wonderful. Excellent. Up next, we have, hold on, let me move this real quick. Up next, we have the fabulous and excellent Ed M. Cohen. All right. I have an intro for you, Ed. All right. That was so great. That was so great. It's just going to keep getting better. I love it. All right. Edward M. Cohen's novel, 250,000, was published by G.P. Putnam's Sons. His A Visit to My Father with My Son appears in Running Wild's 2020 novella anthology. His collection, Before Stonewall, won the Oust Press Book Award and has just been published. Congratulations, Ed. Without further ado, Ed M. Cohen.
This is called choreographer. Can you hear me? I'm dying, my father bellowed into the phone. Hold on a minute, Pop. A heart attack. What are the symptoms? All of a sudden you're a doctor? What does a cockamamie choreographer know about symptoms? When my father curses my career, it means he'd like to take potshots closer to home. But I've warned him not to call me a faggot again. Of course, my father bellows constantly. In conversation, on the street, falling into rages at bank tellers. He is a retired attorney. Son of immigrant parents, drove a cab during the day, went to law school at night. Did you call an ambulance, Pop? By the time they get here, you're dead. You'll drive me in the car. Ow, the pains are awful. They kept him all night. Since I was little, he had scared me, but recently a dancer videotaped me in rehearsal, and what I saw was him bellowing, giving orders, moving masses of people around, exuding authority, making huge demands, energizing the room. I had defined myself as an artist to get away from him, but I had used what he had taught me to do it. If I had used those talents differently, say by becoming a lawyer, I would be helping people, making lots of money. I would not be working in crummy off-Broadway theaters wrapped in rage and rebellion. It made such sense in the fluorescent glare of the hospital waiting room. In the morning, he was perched on the side of his bed, flirting with the nurses. This is my son, a big shot choreographer. Dad, I decided to take some time off from dance. What the hell? I'm not making any money. You can say that again. I'm thinking of going to law school. I'd like to become a lawyer. He reflected for a second. If I had it to do over, I'd never be a lawyer. I made all my money in real estate. Son of a bitch. Nothing I do can please him. But the moment had been so surprising, we lapsed into silence. Waiting for the elevator, I tried to figure out what had just happened. I had tried to tell him how much he meant to me. I had offered to be the son he wanted, and he had answered, be who you are. We announced we are gay with flourish. Our parents accepted, quiet away. Maybe there were other interpretations. Maybe I was putting words into his mouth, but they were better words than I used to put there. Glad he was alive, I raced to rehearsal, lighthearted.
Thank you, Ed. Oh, that was excellent. That was excellent. Thank you so much for sharing with us, Ed. That was wonderful. See, and it's just the beginning, team. It's just gonna keep getting better. Y'all setting these high bars. I love it. Oh, I love it. Okay, excellent. Up next, we have the fabulous Stephen Riel. Hold on, let me find you. Okay, here we go. All right. Stephen Riel is the author of one full-length collection of poetry, Fellow Oddfellow, published by Trio House in 2014, with another forthcoming in September. Yeah, love more publications. His most recent chapbook, Postcard from P-Town, was published as a runner-up for the inaugural Robin Becker Chapbook Prize. Congrats. He serves as editor-in-chief of the Franco-American literary e-journal, Resonance. Yep, I speak French and I still messed it up. All right. Please help me welcome the fabulous and stunning Stephen Riel.
Thank you for this opportunity. On the topic of unmaking and remaking, as a boy, I became fascinated with the deliberate creation of personas because I saw I had to create a false version of myself so I wouldn't be bullied. This poem is called Incubation of a Star. She plants herself before a full-length Brooklyn mirror, Noxemas away her mother's makeup, tests countless ploys to coax the front row's gaze anywhere but here she honks, there she blows, big beak, anywhere but arms so scrawny her Meshuggah mama shipped her off to health camp for fattening at age 5. In the waist up audition above their bathroom vanity, she cat eyes eyeliner angles, critiques collarbone and earlobes 4 or 5 hours a day, cultivates the longest red fingernails ever to read apart, favors offbeat necklines, feathery earrings, slanted hats. When catcalls bring out the genius in her drag queen pals, she marks their technique, drops a letter from her forgettable forename, practices a collection of odd gestures till they're hers, till she debuts on Broadway with oh, what a voice, and oi, what a schnoz. We have to applaud. Thank you.
Yay! Oh, I love the language in that piece. That was fabulous. Thank you, Stephen. That was so excellent. That was so excellent. Thank you so much. It's just gonna keep getting better. Y'all are so fabulous. Okay, pause as I look for Lindsay. Lindsay, there you are. Up next, we have the fabulous and stunning Lindsay Young. Lindsay Young is a poet from New York, residing in Richmond, Virginia. She competed at the 2018 Women of the World Poetry Slam, yes, and represented the city of New York as a member of the New Yorker Poets Cafe's 2018 National Poetry Slam team, where she was crowned a 2018 National Underground Poetry Individual Competition co-champion. Give up those roses. She was a member of the 2019 Brooklyn Slam team and is the author of Salt to Taste, her debut book of poetry published in the summer of 2019. They are a Winter Tangerine alumnus, a 2020 Watering Hole Fellow, and their work has been published in the Mark Literary Review, the Offing Magazine, and elsewhere. Young currently works as a freelance poet and workshop facilitator and is getting her MSW from Columbia University. You better give it up for the fabulous Lindsay Young.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Monica, and thank you to SFWP for putting together this awesome event and for publishing my work and all of the awesome work of everybody in here. So I'm actually going to read a poem titled My Queer in honor of Pride Month before it comes to a close. My queer be a shapeshifter, be water, fills the shape of any room it walks into, meets a woman it can kiss at the hand and becomes bold, becomes so full of itself suddenly no man has ever existed. My queer spreads out in all the places it deems safe, melts into the floor of every party full of girl, press to this song, sing it loud. Fill my mouth with the praise of every gentle savior I have loved and let go. My queer is most sure of itself with a woman in my hands. My queer smells a man and becomes a weapon, learns to chew and swallow and spit the way he do. The way my queer watch him, mimic cruelty and make him disposable. Let him touch and not touch me, drain him to sweat and cower, to stain in my bed sheets. My queer be a monster to those undeserving of it. Be oasis to those that make it feel real. In the dark, my queer unsure of itself, counts the bodies that all feel like bodies, tally up how many make me gay enough, how many make me straight passing and venomous. My queer turn hot at its own questions. In the dark, my queer walk through the house of me. It tears down the drapes and breaks all the good glass. It gut laughs at my attempts to clean up after it. My queer has become a strong, independent bitch who don't need no rhyme or reason. My queer be stronger than I am. I am just learning to explain it. It is just learning that I don't have to. So it turns a broken bottle in my hand, or her hand in my hand, or his hand at my throat, or their hands in my mouth. My queer knows exactly how to become whatever love asks it to be. My queer be reason enough to name itself, to declare itself here, alive and shapeless, to open my mouth and say that my queer be mine and mine and mine. Thank you.
Oh, that was fabulous. That was fabulous. Oh, y'all are killing this reading. See, this is why I love giving readings, because y'all just roll up, you wipe the floor with everybody, one after the other. It just keeps getting better and better and better. Oh, you guys are so fabulous. This is excellent. Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much, Lindsay. That was excellent. Up next, we have the stunning Beatrice Adler. All right, hold on. I have your intro. Wait for it. Ooh, no, it's at the top. Oh, it's at the top. Here we go. Alphabetical order. Should have seen that coming. All right, Beatrice Adler is a genderqueer Seattle-based writer, a University of Montana MFA graduate, and Fulbright creative writing grantee. She's heading to Lithuania very shortly to write a historical novel about queer ancestors. That is so cool. That is so cool. Her work has appeared in Jewish Quarterly and Story Quarterly and received the Amy Levy Short Story Prize. And if that ain't so dope, give it up for the stunning and fabulous Beatrice Adler.
Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. I really appreciate everyone reading and listening today. I'm going to share a very, very short flash piece, which I kind of think of as a companion to my story in this issue. Although the longer piece is about a human, and this one is about a cat. It's called Keyhole. My mistress knows only my daylight self, the companion who warms her toes and steals the scraps of cheese off her dishes. At night, I slip out her upstairs window and wind through the tall grass, attuned to twitching movements, a nocturnal rodent or a low-nesting bird. At the edge of the field is a gravel road, sharp against my paws, and at the end of the road, a fork. I take the way to the cliff. Beyond it, the Black Sea is winking. On the beach, I find a half-eaten seal, the salty pincers of a crab. Human objects wash up too. The buoys and broken bottles don't interest me, but I sniff them for old time's sake. My mistress calls me Reggie. She talks to a photograph of a man she calls Reggie too. He is Reggie. I am Reggie. The other Reggie has been dead for as long as I've been alive. When I sleep in my patch of sunshine, fading in and out of dreams, I remember the time before. I had hairless fingers and flat teeth. I picked things up with my thumbs. My mistress doesn't kiss me on the mouth anymore, but she still feeds me and loves me. She must sense that her two Reggies are the same. Someday, I will find the portal and go back to my old self. The moon is grinning as I think this. The waves are showing their white teeth. They don't know what I know, that keys are hidden everywhere, and doors, and windows too. All I need to do is slip through the right gap at a certain angle and land on my feet. I know I'm close. I can feel a draft rushing out of a dark place. This current crashes into the ordinary breeze and explodes into a mist too fine to see. You keep coming here, says a voice from the water. A heron is standing knee-deep in the surf, staring at me, its long blue neck slicing through the moon. You must be looking for the gate. Well, I say, where is it? The heron preens. It won't work if I give you the answer. In her stuffy room, my mistress is turning, tangling. She whimpers in her sleep. The slightest breath from the time before is caught by a sea wind, which lifts through her window. A cool drop of it lands on her cheek. She calms. There is no door exactly, I realize, only a gap in the seams of the world. I hope I am not too wide. It's down there, isn't it? Under the waves? The bird says nothing, its eyes shining like beads. I think I hear a voice, my mistress calling. I'm not sure I know how to swim. It doesn't matter. I spring and then dive.
Well, that was wonderful. Yay! Wonderful. Thank you, Beatrice. That was excellent. Woo. Woo. Love a piece about a cat. Love a piece about a cat. Always, always, forever. Pieces about cats. More pieces about cats, in fact. I love that. It was excellent. Thank you, Beatrice. Up next, we have the fabulous Minna Dubin. Yes? Oh, thank God. Doubted it. Just had to lean in. Minna Dubin. Fun fact, Minna tried to withdraw her piece from our thing like 2 minutes before we were trying to accept it. And we like hunted her down. We're like, but we really want to publish it. Don't take it away. And thankfully she said yes. So we're very grateful that she let us publish this fabulous piece. Everyone go read it. So Minna Dubin writes about motherhood and identity. Her work has been published or is forthcoming in the New York Times, Hobart, Longridge Review, Literary Mama, Romper, and elsewhere. Minna is currently I screwed it up again. Minna is currently writing a book on mom rage. That's hysterical, which will be coming out in 2023 through Seal Press. Follow her on the socials at Minna Dubin. Please help me welcome the fabulous and stunning Minna.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. It's so great to hear everyone's work. Yeah, so the piece and the issue was about miscarriage and friendship. And what I'm going to read actually a little bit from the book that I'm working on about mom rage. So it's kind of remake and unmake and mom identity formation. Okay. Mom, do you have his immunizations? I'm pointing out the yellow fish swimming in the tank to baby Ollie, watching his eyes to see if he can focus on it. Mom? Mom? I turn, startled. The receptionist at the pediatrician's office is standing behind the desk, reaching her hand out through the hole in the glass partition, looking at me expectantly. Oh, I laugh and press my hand to the place my chest should be, which instead is Ollie snug against me in a baby wrap. You're talking to me? Why is she calling me mom? I wonder. My name is in the computer, isn't it? On all the documents? I remember the hospital personnel calling me mom after I gave birth to Ollie. It felt warranted then, an honorific that properly acknowledged pregnancy and birth and my transition to the other side, the mother side, But now out in the world, away from the miracle and carnage of the birthing room, it sounds strange. I will experience this over and over. When I am in public with my kids, my name ceases to matter. Strangers everywhere, at my kids' schools, the playground, the bus, the YMCA, call me Mom. I wonder why people feel they have access to a name that belongs in my children's mouths. It's as if the world is relieved I am finally something capturable. Pre-motherhood, I was slippery, 1,000 tiny silver fish, a woman, a writer, a sexual being, an educator, a queer person, a Philly John, a Bay Area transplant, a lefty Jew. With nothing to lose, no property, no fancy job, no kids, I was a flight risk. I could do or say anything. But now that I have children, I can't stray too far, can't mouth off too much. There are children to consider, to feed, to pick up from school. Mothers have obligations, schedules, other people to put first. My name has been erased, and I'm reduced to one role, one thing. As a mother, I am palatable, contained, tethered. People know how to categorize my mother self. I'm Minna, I say, smiling at the receptionist like our mutual friend just introduced us as I give her Ollie's immunization forms. Then I put my hand out to shake hers. She places her cool, limp hand in mine, searching my eyes for hints of madness. I'm trying not to lose my very self, my eyes reply. She pulls her hand back carefully. The doctor will be right with you. Thanks.
Oh, we loved that. That was excellent. Oh, that was so excellent. Thank you, Minna. That was excellent and fabulous. And it just keeps getting stunning. Oh, thank you so much for sharing that with us. I can't wait till that book comes out. That's going to be great. All right. Up next, we have the fabulous and hilarious Fred Speers. I hope you're hilarious because I really loved, I don't know firsthand. I hope so.
Oh my word.
Because I loved your poem. So I really hope that you are hilarious in real life because that would be so, disappointing. But I think you are hilarious. So Frederick Speers is the author of So Far Afield from Nomadic Press, a finalist for the Lambda Literary Award, very high praise. His new chapbook, In the Year of Our Making and Unmaking, was selected by Carl Phillips for the Frontier Poetry Chapbook Contest, and it was published this past May. It's free to download. Hopefully you'll drop a link in the chat because we would love that. You're all stunning. Help me welcome the excellent, fabulous Fred Speers.
Thank you. And my thanks to Monica and the editors, because this is such a weird poem. I had no hope that this would be published anywhere. It's a 29-part choose your own experience poem. And so I've never read this out loud before. This will be an experiment for me, and I only have 3 minutes, so we'll see how far we can get together. But when I come to a stopping place, I'll ask for people to vote. It's 1 or 2 things that you could vote for. So we'll see how that goes. And maybe like with a thumbs up or something like that. This is a how-to guide, but it's also, sort of an investigation into theology and selfhood. It's called How to Cruise the Men's Restroom of Love's Truck Stop Outside 29 Palms. Oh God, through the glory hole that man appears fit. Now the opening fills with a solitary word, warm and unpronounceable at first, like an unfamiliar bloom left in the greenhouse for too long and gone to seed. It will slump there until you lift its head toward the fluorescent lights, like you might with an old man's face, the one spotted recently on his front lawn, bowing down as if to ask the dark clouds to forgive his wasted life. The gathering shame he must have felt as this cold wind blew through. It bloweth where it listeth. You know the look. You've seen it before in the tinted glass of a parked car in Balboa Park. that tricky kind of absolution only the despairing and infirmed dare ask for the grace that can be bestowed only by what is absolutely unseen. The unseen, each of us hopes to believe will one day be waiting on just the other side of things. Do you accept or decline? Accept is option one.
Yes. Accept is option one.
Thank you.
Decline is option
Thanks
two.
for doing that poll. That's awesome.
Yo, look, I got you. Okay, we're gonna keep going for 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. We're ending polling.
All right. Looks like you accepted. God, that would be your cue. Do not leave a guy hanging. Hardly grasped, soon the warm and unpronounceable miracle will spill over. Throats, those hairiest wind instruments cleared, and junk will be shoved back into briefs. A fly soon zips, which means the solitary pact between vessel and the invisible is now fulfilled. Hands washing themselves in the funky sink. And you know, oh, how odd is it that you get it even before you know how to shape the words in your mouth, that you are never to speak of this encounter with anyone else, just as you know without any authority around how you must wait and listen. First for the choir of door hinges, opening their hymnals before you yourself can breathe out loud. Get on up and leave, or sit back down. And we'll end there. You'll have to continue the adventure on your own in the quarterly. Thanks again.
Yes, thank you, Fred. That was fabulous. I appreciate that piece because it taught me how to code, which I didn't know how to do before. Because I had to learn how to code so you could click the numbers and jump to the different sections. It's a fabulous piece, team. We'll throw it in the chat. You got to do it. It's a wild ride. Thank you so much, Fred. I appreciated that. I'm so glad you read from that. I was like, yes, awesome. Up next, we have the fabulous and stunning Melissa Sussens. It's Sussens, right? I said that right. Yeah, Sussens. Yeah, okay, good. All right, Melissa. Wait, lies. that is not your bio. Hold on. Oh, there it is. Okay. Melissa Sussens is a queer veterinarian and poet. Her work has appeared in Capsule Stories, Horse Egg Literary, and Anti-Heroin Chic, among others. Chic? Eh. She placed second in the New Contrast National Poetry Prize and lives in Cape Town with her fiance and their dogs. Find her on Instagram at Melissa Sussens. Everybody give a warm welcome.
Thank you. Awesome hype woman. Cool. So I'm going to read from a little bit of a newer poem than the one that was published, and it's on a similar theme of queerness and becoming. This is Etymology of a Queer Becoming after Ollie O'Neill. I spend afternoons in the mud, marry my Barbies before I know that this is a political act, that Ken exists to play at marriage with. My make-believe family is already complete without him. I keep all my English teacher's notes, 13 and infatuated. I do not know to name this obsession. Do not know it should be named at all. Instead, I write bad poetry and collect her signatures in a secret drawer. I sit at the front of the class, get 98%, and the only gold star I want is the teacher's smile directed at me. I'm not sure what lesbian means, but I know that it is bad. A word flung like spitballs into the face of another girl in the class. I lock myself away, my brain a bathroom stall of safety where I scribble on the walls. Ryan, Brandon, boys, boys, boys. It takes me months of Googled, am I a lesbian quizzes to even give myself a silent name. I am 16 and in love for the first time. I write songs about a girl with red hair, blush beneath the covers in the dark as I lock my words into a diary, Let the pages become the keepers of my fluttering fantasies. My hand tingles in the places love has brushed past at the school play rehearsals. I live unrequited. I am drunk, have lost my first kiss to drink, lost my first experience of touch to a love that knows only take. I do not say no, but afterwards I wish I had. At the gay bar, I watch dykes dance and feel lonely, feel like I do not belong. I walk in the pride parade, but I am not glitter enough. I do not have enough rainbow in me to fit in with all this carefree. There are no quiet, queer coffee shops for me to write poetry in, so I climb into my closet of straight friends. Try on stereotypes like a kid playing dress up. The outfits do not fit, not butch enough to discard dresses, not femme enough for heels. I am queer, but not alternative enough. Out, but not proud enough.
Oh, yes. Oh, that was stunning. Thank you for reading new shit. I love that. I love that. That's excellent. Oh, okay. Oh, that was wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. That was fabulous. That was fabulous. Y'all are just dunking on people. This is incredible. Oh, just killing it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And we're just going to keep going. We're just going to keep going with the epicness. Up next, we have the fabulous and stunning Kolbe Riney. I screwed it up again. What is it?
It's Riney.
Riney. And I wrote down a note too. Kolbe Riney, everybody. Let's do it. Kolbe Riney is a queer poet based in Tucson, Arizona. Her work is featured or forthcoming in Lunch Ticket, Passages North, the West Trade Review, and others. I will drop their website in the chat. We'll give it up for the stunning and fabulous Kolbe.
Thanks, Monica. This piece is called Changeling. Eat nothing. Eat everything you can find. Read about the fairy fruit, the one you go mad consuming, or from desire to taste. Drip this in my mouth, tongue out. Seelie or unseelie, do you prefer your darkness in the open or in the urn? Pour it into the cractor, the oil, stones, drippings from the heat. Strike a bargain, never lie. Call it a gift, one that doesn't only stem from your mouth. Always these stories of exchanging. Taste the apple, free its core. Catch the seeds in the palm like matchsticks. Tell yourself they are chances. If you burn gifts enough, people call them curses. Thank you.
Okay, all right, okay. That was fabulous. That last line, ooh, it's gonna haunt me later. That was excellent. You're such a star, Kolbe. That was excellent. So excellent. We're just gonna keep going. We're just gonna keep going with the epicness, Up next, we have the fabulous and excellent Richard. Oh, I just saw you. Richard Hartshorn. Is that right?
Yeah.
I got it. I can do
Thanks,
this.
Monica.
All right,
Awesome.
let me read your thing.
Oh, no, I forgot.
I got you. Hold on. I had to scroll. There we go. Okay. You're very succinct, so this will be quick so you can read your thing. R.W. Hartshorn is a non-binary fiction writer and community college educator living on the Rensselaer Plateau.
Yeah, pretty
that
much.
wasn't even close.
It's a silly name anyway.
Give it up for Richard, y'all.
Cool. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for having me. I'm going to read something. I'm not going to read First Memory. I'm going to read something a little newer that I think is thematically linked enough to what the issue is about that it fits what we're doing. So here goes. So this is a short piece of fiction. It's called Deep Cut. The ripping of chainsaws through tree bark has clued the entire neighborhood into the murder I'm committing. I'm on my porch watching a crew of arborists destroy the white pines threatening to topple onto my roof. It's a healthy tree, the boss told me when he showed up to do an assessment of the biggest pine, patting its thick trunk. Now he's standing alongside me, explaining that World War III is the only way to save this country, while one of the apprentices, a narrow elf of a person hooked to the side of the decapitated tree with chainsaw boots, relieves the once mighty pine of its last few limbs. When the work is done, the apprentice remains. The rest have loaded the logs into their massive truck and taken them to, I'm not sure, the tree graveyard, maybe? I remind myself to look up how long it takes trees to decompose. Maybe I'll leave the pines a letter of apology once they're settled into the dirt in a few months, nourishing other trees. Then I'll feel like I did the right thing. The apprentice takes off their gloves, claps the dirt and bark fragments away, unlatches the fence, and walks up the steps, only looking at my face once they reach the top. I'm Kennedy, they say. Supposed to tell you that. Boss likes us to maintain the friendly image. Yeah, I get it, I reply. The World War III thing was a good start. Kennedy laughs a little. Oh, he hit you with that? Jesus, sorry. If it helps, he calls your place the cool house. Hey, Kennedy, we're going to the cool house today, you know? Oh, I must kill a lot of trees then, huh? Well, technically, you're only putting out a hit on them. I laugh too. By the time I realize the conversation is over, I also realize that Kennedy has been holding out the bill the entire time we've been talking. Having wasted all of my charm, I read over the charges and make out the check in silence. Kennedy shuffles their boots back and forth, periodically tapping at their phone. I hand them the check and the yellow top copy of the bill. Have a good day, they say, before I can come up with a good closing line. They leave the way they came, start up their sputtery stick shift beater, and back down my driveway. The gravel crunches. I wave, but they don't see me. There's a bubble in my chest still waiting to pop. Later, I look up how long it takes for pine logs to decompose. 300 years. Thank you.
Yes! Oh, that was great. I like that. That was excellent. Ooh. Thank you, Richard. That was stunning. We loved it. We loved it. I love a tree story. Me too. That's excellent. Ah, fantastic. All right. Up next, we have Erin El Sabrout. Erin El Sabrout is a transgender Egyptian writer, artist, and activist currently living on, and I'm going to butcher this, but I'm going to try, unceded Stuminus. Is that right? Close. Say it for me again. Stuminus territory in British Columbia, Canada. His work has been published in Mud Season Review, Split Lip Magazine, and the Texas Poetry Review, among others. His work has also been featured in the Breakbeat Poets Volume 3, Halal If You Hear Me, and We Want It All, a radical anthology of trans poetics. At the beginning of the pandemic, he was living in Paoge. I'm gonna get it. What we know as Santa Fe, New Mexico. When you read this, he will be out planting seeds for collective liberation, starting with this stunning reading. Give it up for Erin El Sabrout.
Thanks so much for having me, y'all. I don't know if it's like this where you are, but here on Sussens territory, it is friggin' hot today. So I hope this poem will cool you down a little bit. It's called Fairy Boy. Watch the water wander by, catch reflections of yourself in security cameras, black eye. Parks of dog shit and ice slick cement. Children catch cold plastic bars, ricochet back and forth. Islands of mansions for miles. Don't you ever wonder where rich people come from, how they got there, who/how their ancestors disappeared? And yours? As for his, the fairy boy, he can't remember them. It's all just water to him. Jade fading into blue, fading into gray sky. No service, the dead zone. A series of metal containers between us and the water. Water, I scrubbed it from my pores. Water pouring from the upper deck. Water crusted all inside of me. Sealed off wax caps like whale blubber. Fairy boy landlubber, he rubbing on rocks. He love 'em lichen, leaves or fingers fusing, crawling over skin into crevice and widening, probing, creating an entrance where before there was none. Land tubbin boy, he drum his insides from the stone. Another boat passes alongside, two ships traveling against the gray, exchanging sodium light across the rippling stillness, mountain distance lists. Your hand warm through my jeans, I just want to lay on your window. Charles Bradley Sachs, screen, spread open, arms and bellies. He's, I'm, we're drifting together. Fairy boy, pink-eared, peeking under cap. You're braiding your hair over the headrest. Eyebrow pencil island girl behind squints and laughs. He's huddled against the bench armrest and rests, paws outstretched on asphalt boat deck. The ferry rumbles its own rhythm, pounding deep under the water, the whales whistling along to our base, hibernating till the arrival announcement wakes us. Departure Bay, where the woods leave, list down straight and float across the jet stream. Freighters like paper airplanes dot the sky water. Only white decks rising from black hulls divide the horizon. Anchors scraping the reef, displaced starfish. Ferry boy takeout curry, his car full of boxes. Steam dripping down the boat ramps, grease handprints the windshield, the highway, water, running at the speed of flickering light, coriander, chili, and turmeric, warm car atmosphere, the seagulls swoop aside to catch a whiff, ferry boy, steam rice, and drift. Thank you so much, y'all.
Excellent. Y'all are just, this is amazing. This is such a good group. This is such a good group. Y'all are just, this is fabulous. So fabulous. Thank you, Erin. That was incredible. That was incredible. Fabulous. Up next, we have the excellent Jocelyn Heath. Jocelyn Heath is an assistant professor in English at Norfolk State University. Her poem Orbital won the 2014 Allison Joseph Poetry Award from Crab Orchard Review. That is high praise. Allison Joseph is a rock star. Yes. Okay. Her creative writing has also appeared in The Atlantic, Poet Lore, we love Poet Lore, Sinister Wisdom, Flyway, and elsewhere. She's also an assistant editor for Smartish Pace. Please help us welcome fabulous Jocelyn Heath.
Hi, everybody. Thank you all so much. Thanks, Monica. You really are the best hype woman. I mean, really and truly. So I'm going to read little bits and pieces pulled from the essay I published in the issue called Maker of Properties. Yeah, and I think it'll kind of speak for itself, I think. Right. The mask begins as a wet clotted strip thick across your forehead. As it dries, it pulls on tiny pale hairs and your eyes water. The white glue becomes wetter. The mask covers all but your eyes and the base of your nose. The mask's mouth is narrow. You can draw a breath but not speak. There is no need to speak. Sandy in Grease, Maria in West Side Story, every Jane Austen heroine, Viola in Twelfth Night, to be an ingenue, the woman in the spotlight, the star, the beloved who finds romance in a joyful ending, to have any suffering ended by the final curtain, is to be fulfilled. The mask is you and not you at once. Exhale before putting on or removing the mask. It has a life that you join when you wear it. Care for the mask. In between performances, place it back in the black storage box. Don't toss it in the dressing room or hang it from the costume rack. If ill-treated, it won't serve you in performance. Get to know your mask. Spend the first rehearsal walking and breathing, looking and walking until you move as a single being. Your first fear, you'll never be an ingenue. Your second fear, you are not in love with the idea, but the women ingenues. Their pinked mouths, sweeping curls, cocked hips, and bowed waists. It feels truer than anything, but you are sure that you cannot both be and want them. Deny this fear. Play the part until you become it. The mask is yours alone, but it cannot be made alone. Someone else must lay the strips and mind their thickness, run a fingertip across your cheek to smooth a wrinkle, make sure to cover all. Though you check the progress in the mirror, this work is not your art. You are three, maker, mask, masked, but you don't quite trust your Skupoyos. You and he fell together as a matter of course. You're both trying your best. The mask will never feel quite right. The hardware will fall off the mask first. Little gold jangles hot glued to the forehead and chin break off. First a ring, then two, then the tiny beveled plate holding them on. The elastic strap will stretch and fray until you cut it free. You'll keep the mask on your bookshelf for a while, packing it into a box not to be forgotten for each successive move. Eventually, you'll stop taking it out of the box. Someday, you'll leave it behind. Thank you.
Yay! That was wonderful, Jocelyn. Oh, so excellent. Well done. This is such a good group. Y'all are just giving it all, and it's awesome. Oh, excellent. Up next, I just look for both things at the same time, and I think I know exactly where it is. Hold on. Up next, we have the excellent Miguel Martin Perez. I know you told me to only say 2 names, but I said all of them, so it's too late.
All good, thank you. You can hear me fine, right?
Oh yeah, we can totally hear you. Miguel Martin Perez is a queer Afro-Dominican poet who grew up in Harlem and the South Bronx. A recent MFA graduate from the University of California in Riverside, he currently resides in Los Angeles. His work appears in the Santa Fe Writers Project, Beyond Words, and Riddled with Arrows. Please help me welcome stunning Miguel Perez!
Thank you so much, Monica, and to all the editors, and thank you to all the writers here. You've been fantastic. I'm going to read a poem that was published here, my first. You had me wait in the dark, bathrooms, closets, underneath bed frames, breath hidden in pillows. I learned early to hide for touch, learned early to crave, to wait, mislearned early love as pining, taken, non-reciprocal. At 7, behind thick doors or in the shower, unlocked. 10, in apartment building storage rooms. 13, after late movies, your sister having fallen asleep beside me, you unbuttoned my pajamas. 14, desperate, you kept me incapable of fantasizing anyone else. My final prayer to God, as I counted the snores till I could sneak into your room, to your grown body and its apathy, I prayed, dear God, please, please don't let me like him. Please, God, please, fuck. Keep me normal, God. I beg you, to nothing. Tiptoed into your open lap to please, God, to please with more daring, bolder, with mouth, with a love that could at least seem older. 16, deeper, you took my breath in your palm, plunged my soul right out, tried to take me as I bent below the crack under the door. Look out. I told you no, I haven't done this. You respected that at the very least. Still, I'd never heard you laugh before. Thank you very much.
Ooh, fabulous. Oh, I love that poem every time. Makes me sad and happy. Oh, excellent. Wonderful. Thank you, Miguel. That was excellent. Stunning. Up next, we have Geri Gale. Yes, hold on, wait. I have your bio here. Geri, there you are. Geri Gale's books include Patrice, a poemella, Alex, the double rescue dog, and Waiting, prose poems. Her prose, poetry, and drawings have appeared in Foglifter, Sinister Wisdom. I love the repeat journals. This makes me so happy. Angst, The Feminist Body Zine, Neurological, Tipping the Scales, The Bombay Review, Legia Magazine, Poetry Pacific, Adelaide, Bayou Magazine, and Under the Sun. Check out the fabulous Geri Gale on her socials and on her website. Presenting Geri Gale.
Thank you. I love being in the company of all of you. Today is my birthday. I'm a breast cancer survivor and I'm 66. Thank you. And I'm going to read from my memoir, which is PK Cancer and the Tragic Ruts of Time. And it's about our Jewish and Japanese American lesbian love story of 42 years. Footing in Love. A memoirist's prerogative is, this is how I remember it. And the power of those words is impenetrable. No one can deny it, refute it. A woman's memory is her own. Virginia Woolf warned us of the historical desire to reclaim a woman's room of one's own. Life is prismatic, and each year of life brings on a new hue. This year, I've been writing in the shade of gray and drawing in black and white. The words and lines express a double-edged grief. Sometimes I wonder, will the grief ever stop? History tells me the grief is unending. Today, the parasitic COVID has colonized human conversation. Millions of wreaths will be laid on graves. Today, I want to write about AIDS, how gay advocate Larry Kramer said that Ronald Reagan's father was president for 7 years before he said the word AIDS in public. Today, the COVID-19 vaccine is on a Star Trek warp speed trajectory, while approved drugs for AIDS took nearly a decade. Writing a memoir is self-displaying energy. The written memoir is not the life the writer wished she had lived. In its guts is a fury and anger of imagining a different life to share with the world. Writing a memoir reeks of insecurities, smells of lies, screams for a different plot line. With PK, I lost my footing in love. I met her in my 20s and I was in the process of obliteration. I was divorcing everyone in my family, almost everyone from my past. The shedding of skin like a snake, slit before slithering into a new existence. Then I met PK. Since then, for 4 decades, we have been caretakers of art and love. Yesterday, it took PK 45 fucking minutes to cut my hair. I sat in the kitchen on a chair thinking about scissors, how scissors always show up in my work, how I made scissors out of clay in my ceramics class when I was 19, how afraid I am of getting cut with scissors, with a knife, with a razor blade, how sharp objects in the hands of a lover are prismatic, various shades of closeness, mirrors, cuts, sound. Thank you.
That was gorgeous. Ah, that was so excellent. Thank you, Geri. That was excellent. That was so excellent. Fabulous. We have 2 readers left, team. I know it feels like how, right? So how? But we have up next the fabulous Joseph Lezza. Joseph Lezza is a writer in New York holding an MFA from UTEP. I think we're supposed to say UTEP, but yeah, both are fine. His recent work has been featured in West Trade Review, the Canopy Review, and his essay for the Hopper was nominated for the 2020 Best of the Net Anthology. Congratulations. His website, I will drop in here, his socials as well. Let's do this, as the socials say. Go for it, Joseph!
Thanks, guys. Hopefully you can hear me. So first off, I just want to express my thanks again to Monica, Nicole, everybody at SFWP for including my work in this very special issue. This particular piece came about when I was reading 2 different works concurrently, one that viewed love through the lens of death and one that viewed death through the lens of love. And that juxtaposition of love and death was, up to that point, probably the best representation of how physical love is tinted for me. Queer people today enjoy the relative safety we do when it comes to sex, because that safety was born on the backs of queer individuals who came before, lost their lives to a plague or at the hands of those whose hatred was fueled by that plague. So when we express intimacy, whether we like it or not, there are ghosts with us. Not malevolent, they just ask for acknowledgement. As Willie Loman said, attention must be paid, and this piece is my attempt at that. So this is my poem, Wyoming is Bleeding. As September dies and the world turns a burnt orange, he comes to me looking for warmth. The boy who whispers through screens, whose words light up the dark corners of my room, whose breath and body until then were unknowable. And I fly innocent hellion to a stranger's doorstep. Lover killer tugs me across the threshold, and I follow. The familiar play begins, in which intimacy is a concept to which there is always an audience, a watcher. He is there, 2 or 3 steps away from us, buried waist deep, long dead, immemorial, therefore never dead, therefore always, actually, unavoidable. It's a little guy, about 5'2", soaking wet, I bet you 97 pounds tops. A feather, a shroud, but the stairs cry out under the weight of him. And I turn to chide. You are the first dead, the first to die. Move, we are being expected. In the present, a door opens. I open, the present opens. I rush in, I fall. There's the present. No room for ceremony. The world flips on its side with quiet fanfare. And lover killer stands over me, still a hyphen, still the line on which my life hangs. He starts grabbing me by the leg, grabbing my genitals. I beat him up pretty bad, think I killed him. But as he unclasps, undresses, he unhyphenates, and he is revealed. And I sink into the fabric under muscle and bone. It is this forbidden bed where we will undo each other and ourselves, which will break up the earth and mark the story. I hold him by the waist, my arm thrust around his waist, throbbing too. His body, the cross between the forces of life and the work of death and the body of confrontation. The transaction proves hollow time and again, but I am at once full, but not whole. I throw my cries into the vacuum loud as I might, but I have misunderstood volume entirely. So I offer what's left of my half-hearted penance between his lips. What his mouth knows, my mouth knows. He put his death in my mouth. I sucked it and chewed it and swallowed it and ended it as it began. The cold breeze stings the sweat on my arms as I slip away from his flaccid, dozing silhouette. But as I skirt along the edge of moonlight to gather my effects, I will squat down. I will observe him. I will see his hair quiver in the wind. And that was a major key to me. Noticing it was a human being was his hair. And I will taste iron, copper. Despite a lack of apparent wounds, a red sheet covered us. The only place that he did not have any blood on him, on his face, was what appeared to be where he had been crying down his face. And now silence here, him among the silence. And I cannot call out his name, and I cannot stay. This is not a place where I can live. How can you live here? Thank you.
Woo! Woo! Excellent, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, Joseph. That was excellent. Last but certainly not least, we have the excellent and fabulous Sarena Pollock. Sarena is one of SFWP's former senior interns, and also one of my former students, and I'm so grateful that she's in this fabulous issue. Sarena Pollock is a publication support assistant for Montgomery County Intermediate Unit. She graduated from Susquehanna University in 2020 with a BA in creative writing, where she was a recipient of the Geri and Elizabeth Fink Outstanding Senior Portfolio Prize. She is the author of After the Impact from Chrysalis Press in 2019, and her work appears in Chicago Quarterly Review, the Albion Review, and Laurel Moon, among others. Give it up for Sarena Pollock!
Thank you so much for that, Monica. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you, everyone, for joining this reading. I'm so happy I get to read alongside all these amazing writers. I will be reading 2 short poems. Both were published in this issue, so I'll make it quick. The first poem I will be reading is called Bridging the Gap. And this poem is about the unspoken understandings we have within friendships that we often take for granted. Moonlight reflects off the cracks in our teeth, jagged shadows clawing at our jaws. Stars disguise our sunken eyes as pinpoint galaxies, night air carrying our howls past forgotten tombs. The uncertainty of dusk before dawn leaves us gasping. The things we've left unsaid, clogging our throats, but we laugh anyway. Let the shortcomings of honesty fill the void between our lips. Truths tucked underneath our tongues, saved for another day until our cheeks turn hollow. For now, before our lungs turn to dust. We ignore the blood running down our fingertips, leave our trembling lips at the river. Our battered palms forsake the strain of sleepless nights, morph into constellations guiding us toward shelter. We pretend the patches of dirt we stand on are tunnels to the moon, where our chests are no longer craters bearing the weight of silent aches. We dig and dig, particles of rot crumbling from our veins, leaving red-stained earth behind us. And its next poem is called Tough Love. Love tastes something like blood on asphalt, the way sidewalk cracks manage to stifle the shock of impact through absorption, a concrete cushion. When I was 6 and tumbled on the macadam with a busted kneecap, Grandma chastised me for shedding tears over such a stupid thing. Years later, I take her advice to heart. Why cry over something outside my control? Why cry at all? Can you believe I once loved a girl who used her words to crack me open in bed? Every poet's predisposition is to love someone who acts like you're their favorite verse, who saw my body as an elegy worth owning, yet brittle enough to shatter. When I discovered she made home between my best friend's thighs, I did not cry, though fragments of grief pierced the pit of my stomach, a perpetual plunge into the abyss, anticipating the cement's inevitable collision. After all, this wasn't the first time my bones turned to gravel. This wouldn't be the last time my skin contorted underneath someone else's hands. Thank you.
Yay! Oh, thank you so much for that fabulous reading. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I'm going to throw in the chat all of these readers. You can find them at that link. They have individual links on the left-hand side, and you can find all their fabulous pieces there. If you liked what you heard today, please feel free to donate right there at that particular link to these stunning writers. 100% of the proceeds go to them, in addition to the fabulous donated royalties from our fearless leader, Andrew Gifford. Thank you, Andrew.
You're welcome. I'm in a sports bar in Brooklyn. Can you hear me?
We can kind of hear you. It's close enough. Well, we're so glad you're here. So thank you for joining us. Writers, thank you. Audience, thank you. All of you, thank you. You're all stunning and fabulous. It has been a pleasure to share space with you today on the anniversary of the Supreme Court choosing, Supreme Court finally allowing same-sex marriage in the United States. We're so grateful to have you all here. So yay for anniversaries, yay for birthdays, yay for survival, yay for thriving. So proud of you all. This reading is over and you can go forth and live your best lives. But I want to say thank you. I'm Monica Prince, SFWP Managing Editor. Our next reading is in August. It will be featuring our writers with disabilities, which goes live July 15th. You're all invited to read the dopeness. It's gonna be fabulous. So join us then. Until then, read widely, write unapologetically, and stay fabulous. Be gay, do crimes, live your best lives. Fabulous to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. Good night.